Tonight, basketball rip-off. Fans trying to receive refunds from a match with poor seating and false advertising. We have special coverage and what you need to know if you want your money back. Also, funding failed. This year's NAPLAN test shows Year 9 students performing poorly as calls to scrap the annual test fall on deaf ears. Overseas, a robbery in New York, $6 million in goods stolen from a high-end store. The Fortnite world champion, a victim of swatting in the US, a frightening ordeal which has proved fatal in the past. And Bolt's back, the sacked Carlton coach returns to his original club of Hawthorn. This is HMV Local News with Leonardo Puglisi. Good evening. We begin with outrage from Marvel Stadium as fans tried desperately to get refunds from their Boomers USA match tickets. The match was described as rip-off by some basing that off the promos, others based off the seating. We have special coverage. Regardless of the result, the main focus of the Boomers USA game was the poor seating. Fans in some areas were unable to see the game, and some of the more expensive ticket holders reported they were sitting on plastic chairs and were unable to see the game despite forking out hundreds of dollars to see it. The other major controversy for the match was the ads and promotions. Many players depicted on some of those promos were not at the game on the night. Early ads depicted star players, including many from the US that were not at the game. Promos also showed Marvel Stadium with slanted seating, unlike what happened at the night. As we reported last week, the ACCC is investigating and telling some fans to attempt to get refunds. Moving on, this year's NAPLAN test has proved another fail for its supporters, with schools dropping in all areas. Year 9 students did the worst, and this has reignited some calls to scrap the national test. After the failed online version, the NAPLAN test hasn't given Aussies much to smile about. The results revealed Year 9s are doing worse than Years 3, 5 and 7. Some said NAPLAN should be changed so Years 4, 6, 8 and 10 do the tests, while others say it should be scrapped altogether. Going overseas now, and a group of robbers has stolen $6 million in goods from a high-end New York store. The store sells Gucci products and other high-profile brands to rappers like Drake. No staff were injured in the heist. Staying in the US, the Fortnite world champion has become another victim of swatting in the States. Swatting is when a hoax call is made to the police, claiming there is a hostage situation in the property, calling in the SWAT team. This has proved fatal in the past. The victim was unharmed in the incident. Brazil rejects funding as the Amazon continues to burn. That's ahead this evening. Come down to the Camberwell Market every Sunday for great buys and cheap products, antiques and collectibles. Every Sunday in Camberwell. Welcome back. Brazil has rejected funding for the Amazon rainforest to help fight the fires. These fires are the largest seen in the area in decades. The Amazon rainforest provides 20% of the world's oxygen, and now it's burning. Fires in the area threaten local indigenous communities, and Brazil's far-right president doesn't seem like he wants to do anything about it, rejecting overseas funding to help fight the fires. The Amazon has been faced with many challenges, most notably the forest being cut down, but now these fires could prove devastating if nothing is done. We're now going to give you a look into two old Melburnian newspapers. We have found the Age and the Herald from around 1940. As you can see, the headlines are very different to today's papers. There are some interesting ads included, and the format of the paper is one notable difference. The Age is still around, while the Herald merged with the Sun to form the current Herald Sun. We'll have sport after the break. across the Hawthorn district and its surrounding areas. You're watching HMV, your local station. For Fortnite, gaming and so much more, subscribe to Mr. Merritt, proud supporter of HMV. In sport, the AFL fixture for the first week of the much-anticipated final series has been released. On Thursday, the Eagles host Essendon in the first elimination. Friday, it's an MCG thriller with the Cats and Collingwood. GWS plays the Dogs Saturday arvo, and the Lions host Richmond at the Gabba on Saturday night. Brendan Bolton has returned to his original club, Hawthorn, after his sensational sacking from Carlton earlier this year. Bolton originally coached Box Hill in the VFL before being upgraded to Hawthorn assistant coach. He left at the end of 2015 and coached 77 games of the Blues before being sacked earlier this year. And that's sport. We'll have your local weather details after the break.
Double bass has generally been an instrument that has been dominated by men.
It's been an amazing afternoon.
Women in Bass, an HMV News special presentation, is coming soon to HMV. Welcome back, time to check your local weather forecast for Hawthorn, Camberwell and Richmond. And that's HMV local news for this Sunday evening. Thanks very much for tuning in. On behalf of the team, I'm Leonardo Puglisi. Good night.